Hello and welcome to another edition of Laurel Park Weekly. We tape this show live by the historic Laurel Park paddock. It's Thursday, January 25th, and what a big weekend of racing coming up. Of course, we have the $16 million Pegasus World Cup down there at our sister track Offstream. We'll talk about that, but we're going to start with the 4 stakes we have this Saturday here at Laurel Park. Let's show you what's going on here. 4 very competitive stakes. This Saturday we have the Marshall Stakes, the Frank Whiteley, the Nellie Morse, the Native Dancer, all $100,000 stake races this Saturday here at Laurel Park. Hope you can join us. Let's start here with a local preview. Let's start with the Marshall Stakes. That'll be the first of 4 stakes on the afternoon. That'll be race 5 this Saturday here at Laurel Park. It's a $100,000 stake for 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. For Ty Ellis, Dave Robin, I'm Stan Salter, and here's Enchanted Ghost, a 3-year-old daughter of Ghost Sapper, her second win in a row here at Laurel Park. This win against Allowance Company going a mile. Now we're cutting back to 6 furlongs, stepping up the Stakes Company. Angel Cruz will ride again for Hammy Smith. How about Enchanted Ghost in the Marshall, Dave?
I think she's the ghost with the most improved past performance lines. I remember her debut when she was 3rd behind Pearl Gem as a 2-year-old. Thought she had a lot of promise, and then a couple of 3rd-place finishes, finally put it all together in breaking the maiden and coming back with a strong Allowance win there on December 29th to close out her 2-year-old season.
I love the progeny of Ghost Zapper, and that's exactly what Enchanted Ghost is. Should improve with a little bit more time, cutting back from a mile to 6 furlongs here. I do like Enchanted Ghost. I'm not crazy about the 1-hole. Enrage is going to be my top pick in here. The horse has only won once, and that was a maiden claiming race out at Keeneland, but a good second in the Gin Talking last out. Sheldon Russell looks like is going to stay aboard. I'm going to take the Ben Colebrook trained Enrage filly. Algorithms has proved to be a good young sire, and I think you should get a decent price on the horse too.
What a good role the last a few weeks have been too for the ownership group here, Men's Grill Racing Stand. They put a lot of money into the game with a few different trainers here in Maryland, and the dividends are paying off. So I know they'll be down there at the bar in the clubhouse, right? That's where they sit, and you can always wish them good luck whenever they run a horse.
Yeah, the Stone Bar up there, the Garden Terrace clubhouse, Men's Grill Racing, the owner of Enchanted Ghost. So they have a good shot with their Ghost Zapper filly trained by Hammy Smith. How about Limited View, the Freedom Child filly for John Salzman Jr. She was the beaten favorite last out in the Gin Talking, where she had to break from the inside and really didn't have a good trip the whole way around there. Was covered up in traffic the whole way, I thought.
That was kind of an odd day here at Laurel. Very cold weather. A lot of horses that day, for some reason, as favorites or second or third choices, didn't really fire. I mean, I would draw a line through that race. She had that inside post position. I think Prado just kind of protected her late there in the Gin Talking. You're going to see her bounce back to true form on Saturday.
Yeah, you toss that last race in the Gin Talking, and the horse Limited View looks like a possible single in the race. The Maryland Juvenile Filly Championship, where she won by 6 lengths. You got Deep Red, who came back to win on Sunday in an allowance race pretty impressively.
You know about that
I
horse,
do.
Don't
Knocked
you?
me out of the pick 6, but I took that up with Damon already. So that could be a live race, and I think Limited View will be tough to beat. I'm not going to draw a line completely through the Gin Talking for the Limited View. I think there could be other possibilities in here to go with.
She's come back, January 16th work since then, a bullet work for Limited View. So, she's the question mark to rebound.
And the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado will be in town to ride Limited View. He's also riding John Jones and the Native Dancer. So let's talk about that. Let's go right to that. Let's talk about the Native Dancer. That's going to be race 7 on Saturday afternoon. Going a mile in a 16th for 100,000 4 and up. And John Jones back in real good form. Let's show you what he did in the Jennings December 30th here at Laurel Park. Fired a 93 buyer. This was his 8th lifetime win here at Laurel Park. Lacey Gaudette and Edgar Prado, they've done a nice job with this horse owned by Matthew Sherry. He's back in good form, and he had a bullet 5 furlong work here January 22nd.
Yeah, good effort there from John Jones. And the question is, can he come back here and repeat that effort? Good 93 buyer figure. A horse has run a little quicker buyer numbers in the past, and especially around 2 turns. We know about a Fleet Willie, who won the Richard Small Stakes and left flat-hooved at the gate back in November. Looked like he had no chance in that race, and with a sustained rally made the lead, did not flatten out, went on to win. So coming back second after the layoff from a sprint to a route for BB Horses, a Fleet Willie could be the tough character for John Jones. 10-25 lifetime, too, for him.
We did talk John Jones, and the horse is 0 for 3 going a mile and a 16th. Has won it 2 turns before in a starter allowance. I think this horse might like that one-turn distance, a one-turn mile, a little bit more. I'm going to go with in here River Deep, assuming the horse just ran on Saturday, so it is a quick turnaround for the horse. Finished second in a third-level tough allowance race, but I think the horse has good enough back form to really improve here. Maybe go gate to wire, show speed in this race, 2-turn ability. Phil Schoenthal, if this horse runs off a quick layoff, and if that horse, I'm assuming, is going to run, if everything is good with the horse, I think is going to be dangerous.
All right, we caught up with Linda Gaudette, of course, the longtime trainer here in Maryland, helps out her daughter Lacey with John Jones. Here's what Linda Gaudette had to say about their 6-year-old son of Smarty Jones for the native dancer.
He's doing well. He's very happy, as you can see. He's kind of a ham. The work was great, well within himself, galloped out great, and this morning was, you know, a handful. Lacey just got on a plane to go to Florida for the Eclipse Awards, and she's worried to death that she's not going to be here tomorrow to gallop him, but we'll make it through without her. So she'll be back Saturday morning. And I think there's a little more speed in this race, but I don't think he has to be on the lead. He, you know, stalked a little bit the other day. Edgar's flying up to ride him, and Salzman's filly, so we're pretty confident. He always gets, you know, he puts in a big effort.
All right, so there's Linda Gaudette, hard to call an assistant trainer to Lacey Gaudette, maybe the general manager of Team Gaudette, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're confident of John Jones. I pick him on top with the Hall of Famer. A Fleet Willie would be awfully tough. I picked that horse in my doctor. How about Final Prospect? You like River Deep coming back. Final Prospect coming out of that same race last Friday. I think this horse in good form for Gary Capuano. We'll get a nice ground-saving trip with Fergal Lynch aboard.
So, yeah, you know, he just really got a great ride by Toledo last time out and beating River Deep. River Deep made the lead. Ty, I mean, personally, I think I've said it before in the show. I think River Deep may be a little bit better turf horse, but he handles the dirt okay. A Final Prospect just had a perfectly timed ride to run him down there. So Fergal's going to have his assignment here. Toledo's out with injury for Gary Cap. Always a strong combination when Gary Cap sends out a horse who's got a chance in here in a stake.
Depending on if a Fleet Willie breaks, too, this could be a quick pace up front with John Jones and River Deep if they all decide to run in here, and it could set up for a Final Prospect or maybe even a Monongahela, horses that like to get a little bit of pace to run into.
All right, so a talented field here in the Native Dancer for 100,000. 7 horses entered in that race. That's the second stake race on the afternoon. Race 8 will be the Frank Whiteley Jr. for 3-year-olds, 100,000, going 7 furlongs. We have a couple videos to show you in the Frank Whiteley. Nobody was hotter than Kenny Decker last weekend. He won with Awesome Banner and the Fire Plug, had a couple other nice winners as well, and he has another one here in the Frank Whiteley Old Time Revival. Let's show you his race from December 11th here at Laurel Park. This is another Jacks or Better Farm homebred. This one by Brethren. Nice maiden special weight win, going 7 furlongs back on December 11th here. A quick time, got a 77 buyers, come back and fired a couple bullet workouts since this when I think Old Time Revival sitting on a big race in the Frank Whiteley for Hot Connections.
He got a lot of play in his debut run as a 2-year-old, didn't run so hot in his second start as a 2-year-old, and Kenny Decker gave him the time that needed to mature, and it paid off, and he's won at this distance, 7 furlongs, very important. He likes the distance.
Wentz on the outside is another horse that just broke the maiden. Jason Service, Windstar bred, the Super Saver horse, I think could be a pace factor from the outside, probably going to control the pace if the horse breaks well. There's a lot of competition in here, whirling, curling on the inside, but I'm with you, Stan. I think Old Time Revival and probably Wentz coming out of 2 maiden races are going to be tough to beat in here.
All right, we caught up with trainer Kenny Decker this morning talking about his young 3-year-old Old Time Revival stepping up to Stakes Company in the Frank Whiteley.
He's doing real well. We had him nominated to the Jerome, and they ended up, with their issue up there, and we didn't get a chance to go. So we worked him back, worked real good. Looks good going into this this race here. We just we'll see what happens. There's some nice horses in there, and we'll get an idea of what kind of colt we got. I like to kind of sit like we sit in the maiden race, you know, kind of sit a little off of somebody and make our run at them. We're trying to get him stretched out, you know, to possibly.
All right, so this trainer Kenny Decker talking about old-time revival, talking about maybe having them go longer in the future. But look at those two works, 47-2 on Christmas Eve, and then 59-1 going 5 furlongs, the fastest of 17 works, January 19th. That was just last Friday. So I think old-time revival sitting on a big race. That was Kenny Decker talking about him. We also saw an ISO winner last Saturday against Allowance Company. Let's show you Old Fashioned Club, a 3-year-old by Old Fashioned for trainer Jamie Ness. Julian Pimentel was aboard this day, going a mile and a 16th. A good-looking win against Allowance Company. Old Fashioned Club now a 2-time winner at Laurel Park, cutting back to 7 furlongs into Frank Whiteley. You know he'll be dead fit for that race, Dave.
Yeah, that's a quick turnaround, and then a shorten up from a 2-turn race to a sprint. I'm not sure quite what was behind him in this race. That's the big question. You know, the 3-year-olds he's facing on Saturday, perhaps a little bit more seasoned in sprinting and generally faster in speed figures, buyer figures, whatever figures you use. I mean, let's not overlook Whirl and Curlin.
Sure.
I mentioned December 30th. That's the same day that Limited View ran, right? Ran poorly. December 30th, Whirl and Curlin was 3-1 against the Monster Diamond King, and he finished 5th, no fire. So that day, again, December 30th, a little bit quirky for a couple of these young horses improving. I think he can come back. Remember, he ran an 83 buyer figure at 21-1 in the Maryland Juvenile Futurity Championship.
I use him in the exact. He's just going to have to overcome that inside post going 7 furlongs. A nice addition here in the Frank Whiteley for 3-year-olds. Let's talk next here. Yeah, we covered everything there. Let's talk about the Nellie Morse Stakes next. Nellie Morse is going to be race 9 Saturday for filly mares, 4 and up, 100,000 going a mile and a 16th. And let's show you Sky Flowers' last race here at Laurel Park. This race in a 38 go-go comes up the rail with a good move this day, going a mile, and a good second behind Bishop's Pond. It was a sharp winner this day. I like Sky Flower in the Nellie Morse. I'd line up best fits in this race as well for Claudio Gonzalez. But Sky Flower in good form right now for trainer Jerry Brooks.
Yeah, it's a nice filly, Flower Alley filly, obviously bred to run all day. With that pedigree. Are we going to see Gillette finally in Maryland, right? She's been scratched a few times here in some shorter stakes races, I believe it was, or was it a 2-turn race? I forget. But Ben Colebrook may finally unleash this mare here. She's won her last 3 starts. Interesting to see if she does run in the spot.
I believe it was in the 38 go-go a couple weeks ago.
Right.
The race that Line of Best Fit threw the rider at the gate and didn't run. I was all over Line of Best Fit on that day. Technically, this is the second time going to be in Claudio Gonzalez's barn. The horse is finished behind Songbird at the Delaware Handicap a couple races back, and Martini Glass, who's a multiple Grade 1 stakes placed horse, was second in that race. So I think it came back a little bit tougher than people were thinking. So I'm going to go with Line of Best Fit is my best bet on the day, actually, in this race.
Yeah, she's going to be maybe overlooked in that spot.
Yeah, I have her on top. I think Skyflower will be right there, but I have Line of Best Fit on top as well. So that's the 4th and final stake race Saturday afternoon here at Laurel Park. We have the Marshua race 5, and then the Native Dancer race 7, and the Frank Whiteley race 8, and then the Nellie Morse race 9. 4 stake races for you this afternoon. And then we hope you hang around here for the big $16 million race down there at Gulfstream. It's the Grade 1 Pegasus World Championship Invitational, going 9 furlongs. $16 million is the purse. Let's show you the favorite here, Gunrunner. This was his win in the Breeders' Cup Classic at Del Mar back in November. He's your 4-5 favorite for the Pegasus for trainer Steve Asmussen and Florent Giroux, the regular rider. What do you think, Dave, here? Gunrunner, a heavy favorite for $16 million.
Well, he's got post position number 10. A lot's been made of that, going a mile and an eighth at Gulfstream Park. A distance that's not run quite a lot down there. It's got a little bit winning lower post position stat than a lot of the other posts, going 1 1/8. So that was a big question. I guess if he had drawn post 7 or 6, he might have been 3 to 5, but he's still 4 to 5, given his accomplishments. Collected West Coast, who were 2nd and 3rd behind him in that Breeders' Cup Classic race back in November, coming to take him on again. And you know, Sharp Azteca, Guanavera, Fear the Cowboy, all multiple winners at Gulfstream Park in the race as well. I guess if you're looking to beat him, maybe look in that direction.
Yeah, and I think we're good. We have a video here on Sharp Azteca. I want to show it really quick here. This was from the Carter. This is the only really horse in here that's stretching out. This is a 1-turn mile, and I think what Sharp Azteca, I don't think is a realistic horse to win. Got run down by Battle of Midway in the Breeders' Cup Mile. So I think this is going to be a bit long for the horse, but it's going to provide Gunrunner with some competition up front. The Gunrunner's not going to get a 2-length lead with a half mile to go. Sharp Azteca is going to hound this horse every step of the way, and I think it might soften the horse up just a little bit for a Collected to finally get on top. Guanavera, I think, could be a potential long shot underneath, and I think Sharp Azteca is going to be just enough in there to soften Gunrunner up. I hate to see a $16 million horse with a 3 to 5 or purse with a 3 to 5 horse singled on every ticket. So I'm going to go deep. I'm hoping for a price in here.
Well, maybe West Coast's turn to come East Coast here. He was only beaten 3 lengths by Gunrunner in the Classic. Gets a good draw near the inside, I think, and sit tactically if there's a sharp pace up front, which there should be with Sharp Azteca and Gunrunner. So I guess if I'm picking a horse to try to down the champ, well, West Coast.
And there's a girl going against the boys in this race, a 6-year-old mare, Stellar Wind. She broke her maiden here at Laurel Park. She's gone on to do big things. She's made over $2.2 million. She's in this race for Chad Brown with Joel Rosario. 30 to 1, a big price here on Stellar Wind. What do you think? She have a shot here for the new connections. First time in the Chad Brown barn running into Pegasus for Stellar Wind.
Yeah, that's really good to see a mare take on the boys in this caliber kind of race. Ty, are you using her?
No, but I don't think she's worth. I mean, at 30 to 1, if I can get 30 to 1, I'll put a couple bucks on her. She'll get bet down to probably 15 or 20. But Stellar Win, Chad Brown, first time at Chad Brown. That's going to take some money right there. Dave, it is good. It's good to see a filly or girl take on the boys here. I think it's just a little too tough.
Happens much more often overseas, you know. So in a caliber race like this, Stellar Win against the boys.
And you got the Hall of Famer like Gary Stevens on a 30 to 1 shot. The 12 Giant Expectations for Peter Urton, just won a grade 2 out there, beating Accelerate and Collected. So a big 12-horse field. If there's a scratch or two, there's a couple horses sitting on the AE, Giuseppe the Great and Game Over. So should be a full field, full gate down there for the $16 million Pegasus World Championship Invitational. That'll be race 12 down there at Gulfstream. They have stakes all day long. You can catch all the simulcast action right here at Laurel Park. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll show you some big local races from last weekend here at Laurel Park and all over the country right after this. All right, welcome back. We had a couple stake races last Saturday here at Laurel Park, the Fire Plug and the What a Summer. Let's show you Awesome Banner in the $100,000 Fire Plug, going 6 furlongs. We had a few scratches. He had an outside post. He had a nice stalking trip. He'd been running against some of the top sprinters in the country last year. He finally put it all together. A game effort, $11 winner for Kenny Decker and Jacks Are Better for him. Nice ride by J.D. Acosta on Awesome Banner.
Last summer, Gulfstream Park behind Imperial Hint with an 89 buyer and a 99 buyer figure in the Maryland Sprint at Pimlico behind Whitmore, but his last 3 speed figures coming into the race were 47, 42 time before, and declining from a 96 when he was second by a nose in the Grade 2 Phoenix at Keeneland. So that shows you what a really great job Kenny Decker did in returning this horse to best form off a pair of mid-40 buyer numbers, coming back to top form this past Saturday.
Did earn a 95 in the race, 95 buyer figure. I think it was just a great ride by J.D. Acosta. Just sat right off favorite tail and put that horse away and really had enough in reserve to see out the win.
And the big effort there by Something Awesome, got up for third. How about it? It's the Journey at a big price. A good effort there to finish in the exacta with Pimentel aboard for Mike Trombetta.
Yeah, returning to best form at Laurel Park. It's the Journey. I really thought he was going to get by there for a second, but Austin Banner dug in.
All right, so that was the fire plug last Saturday. Let's show you what happened in the What a Summer last Saturday. Big effort by Miss Locust Point. She's now 3 for 3 here at Laurel Park. Here's her win in the What a Summer. Miss Locust Point, 4-year-old filly. I dialed in for John Service. How good is this filly? I think she's sitting on a monstrous 4-year-old campaign.
Yeah, she was 2 for 2 coming into Laurel at this race. Now 3 for 3 at Laurel. Third stakes win at Laurel. And George Vargas Jr. perfect on this dialed-in filly. The trainer John Service, Cassius King, and Jim Reichenberry owners.
Hopefully we see her President's Day weekend in graded stakes company. This horse definitely is talented enough. Earned an 83, which regressed a little bit from an 89 in the Willa on the Move in this race. But George Vargas really did it in hand. Probably could have opened up a little bit more, held the horse back a little bit, and I think this horse can improve and win graded stakes.
All right, so Miss Locust Point, big win in the What a Summer. How about Final Prospect? He's running back on short rest in the big stake, the Native Dancer, this Saturday. Here's what Final Prospect did last Friday here at Laurel Park against 3 other than Allowance Company. Got a perfect ride by Jevion Toledo. Nice stalking trip, turnover home. You knew Final Prospect was going to be right there.
Yeah, there's Deep Red, River Deep. I get my deeps confused. River Deep, sorry.
Yeah.
Deep Red's the horse at BU. Anyway, there you saw River Deep trying to dig down, but Final Prospect with a perfectly timed effort, making the move on the final turn to get up there over River Deep.
All right, so nice 3 other than addition by the Maryland-bred Final Prospect. He's made a bunch of money for Nonstop Stable and Gary Capuano. Let's show you a big race from Tampa last weekend. The Tampa Pasco Stakes, World of Trouble, a big win down there. Talk us through this race here, Dave, down in Tampa.
First he breaks his maiden for $25,000 by 14, privately purchased by owner Michael Dubb. Comes back to finish the second at Gulfstream in the Affirm there against Restricted Company. But look at this. I mean, this is a blow-away win, almost track record time, trained by Jason Service. The margin was 13 3/4, as Phil Georgieff may have said in the old days, and he would have nailed it, not that good.
I lost the race, so you.
That's all right.
I lost
97 buyer figure.
He hate me finished second in that race. Who broke the maiden up at Pimlico in May? So
so we're thinking Tampa Bay Derby maybe, or Sam Davis.
Sam Davis probably first.
Then, and Tampa.
Then
that's
Derby.
their goal for. World of Trouble. Of course, that was 7 furlongs. He's going to have to go longer, and we'll find out as time goes along in the next few weeks.
All right, so big weekend of racing all over the country, especially down at Gulfstream this Saturday. All eyes will be down there, but don't sleep on our product here. Tomorrow, Friday, kicks off the race weekend, then 4 stake races for you this Saturday. Ty, we also kick off the Cure the Blues winter handicapping contest.
Yeah,
Saturday,
that's fun.
right?
We're adding 2 races from Gulfstream this year. It's the last 5 at Laurel, and then 2 from Gulfstream. Obviously, it's going to be the Pegasus World Cup is going to be one of them, and I get to decide what the other one is. Hopefully, one of those big turf races. That
Saturday, you've got to mention 2 late pick 5, $750K guaranteed down there at Gulfstream, and $1 million late pick 4 at Gulfstream as well on Saturday afternoon. The Rainbow, if it doesn't go, Then I believe a mandatory
Sunday.
payout on Sunday
Yep.
at Gulfstream. So lots of stuff. Our prize pack giveaway, we're giving away 5 prize packs. So get here before around the 5th or 6th race. I think the drawings are after the 6th for our Pegasus prize pack giveaway.
All right, for Ty Ellis, Dave Robin, I'm Stan Salter. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you here at Laurel Park this weekend.